What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome to this episode of The Pickups. I did get my haircut. Thanks for noticing. All right, so far it's been sort of a media type week, but just been picking up a lot of VHS tapes. Went to a thrift store, and they just had like rows and racks of VHS tapes, 4 deep. So I grabbed some. All right, so where are we at? We were at the Anthony Drive Antique Mall. Found a couple DJ 40-ounce CDs. These are still sealed. They were $1 a piece. Going right on the eBay store. So we're at the thrift store, and like I said, they had a bunch of media, just 99 cents, all kinds of, like I said, like 3 shelves of DVD or VHS, 4 rows deep, 4 movies deep. So I got some to resale. Obviously, we got Making of the Blue Man Group. Blue Man Group was popular. I still can't believe people buy sealed VHS tapes. I thought that was over, where people would just buy these up for crazy prices and then get them graded. But there's Raiders of the Lost Ark with the sticker on it. So I listed that one. We got Indiana Jones Last Crusade sealed. This is Beauty and the Beast Song of Orpheus. This was that TV show with Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton. So I got that listed. They had some 99-cent PS3 games, so it looks like their PS3 games, video games in general, were 99 cents. So I got Watch Dogs, Dead Space 3 limited edition, LA Noire classic right there, man. I love that game. I was just talking to Tyler about that, and I was talking to my son like 10 minutes ago about that game. Rage Anarchy edition, and then Mag. Now I think this is an online only game and the servers are shut down, but for 99 cents, eventually I will need the case. And then I snagged this Import Car Revolution. It's a 3-disc. It says Grip Video Volume 1, Grip Video Volume 2. I don't know. But it looked like it comped pretty well, and it was only 99 cents. So that was yesterday, which was Monday. Today's Tuesday. I went back and they restocked on the VHS. So all the VHS that we bought yesterday, they restocked. So they must have a magic thing in the back. I was just talking to my wife about Anna Nicole Smith, and I found Anna Nicole Smith, what's this called? Night Vision on VHS. Again, it comps pretty well, so we'll get that listed. And then here's your bolo right here, guys. The Doom Generation. Looks like that's about a $40 VHS tape. Never heard of it, but I'll probably give it a watch. Now, got all this stuff to add to the collection. They had Airplane and South Central at St. Vincent de Paul in the free bin, so I grabbed a couple free VHS over there. You got Iron Eagle, man. Minty copy. I love that it's got the little insert in there. It's great. Even though it's just the same as the cover. But Iron Eagle is an 80s American staple. Gotta have it. You got Gator with Burt Reynolds. Watch that today. Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda. Now this is in the little Femme Nikita series. There's a book called Nikita. It's about this woman that they turn into a spy and an assassin. This is sort of the movie. And then, of course, they made the TV show, I don't know, early 2000s or something. Poison Ivy. Brandon Powers. Brandon Lee in Rapid Fire. Brandon Lee is like most known for The Crow, but he did this movie and Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren, which I highly recommend. An Alicia Silverstone movie I've never seen before, Rock My World. I've never even heard of this movie, so definitely can give that a watch. Denzel Washington in Ricochet. JCVD Double Impact. How cool is that? I used to rent that movie all the time. Here's a movie that I think is a little underrated. It's School Ties with Brendan Fraser. He plays sort of like this this kind of Midwest kid that goes to this prep school in Boston, in the 50s. And they find out he's like a star on the football team and does good in school. And they find out he's Jewish, and then he has to face all this like hate crime and stuff. It's a crazy movie, but really, really good. And then 2 movies that you would never get away with making today. We've got Kentucky Fried Movie and, of course, Blazing Saddles. Now, definitely a different time, a different generation, 50 years ago in this country. The way we attacked racism was by making fun of the ridiculousness of racism. Now everybody is just like overboard offended about everything. So you could never make movies like this nowadays for sure, but happy to find those. And old VHS tapes, right? Saw Mario and Retro Tiburon and Ty Lord Stevens looking through some trash VHS tapes. So that kind of, when I saw all these VHS tapes, I got really excited because I do enjoy the VHS. All right, cheap plug. This is the last thing I want to show you. It's a whole bin of Masters of the Universe figures that I got from a coworker. She got them at a garage sale for $12, so I paid her for these and made a video on my toy channel, The Toy Freaks. I'll leave a link to that video down below if you want to see all the awesome Masters of the Universe stuff that I got, including Faker, Skeletor, Beastman, Triclops. Anyway, it's on The Toy Freaks. All right, so today was Veterans Day, and I didn't really plan on going out to the thrift stores, but when I got to Goodwill, I realized that, you know, green tag was half off, and then it was half off clothing. So I made my rounds. I go to the last Goodwill of the day. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. Parking lot's full. People are just bringing out bags of stuff. I didn't have any hope for anything. But I actually got a huge bag of clothing items. There were still Nike, Puma, Adidas, Under Armour, you know, for $2.50 a shirt. And I mean, they're only like $8, $9 shirts, but you know, all that stuff adds up over time. So I got a bunch of that stuff over there. And okay, so the thrift store that has a lot of VHS tapes, okay? They must just like restock. So I found a couple for me. I've been looking for this movie. I love renting this movie as a kid. Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And yeah, very funny movie. Love it. Happy to have it in the collection. Oh, and their VHSs, they were like 99 cents. And then whatever, if it was half off, green tag or whatever, they just put a sign out. VHS tapes, 2 for 99 cents. So picked up Femme Fatale or Fatali. And then this one actually sells for a good bit of money, and I'm not sure why. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's the media whatever one. I'm not sure why. I don't know if this is a later print run or whatever. This is from 1985. I thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre was older than that, but this little bad boy sells for upwards of $100+. So I've already got that listed. So some nice VHS grabs. Grabbed this today at Goodwill. Again, they were $1. So Beer Fest on Blu-ray. Suicide Squad extended cut, sealed. Starman. I don't know if I showed this off in the last video, but I got it last time. Yeah, Starman. I love this movie. It's got the insert and everything in there. It's great. It's one of my favorite. Again, a movie that I used to rent when I was a kid, and it's crazy cool. Superman Doomsday, and then Chuck Jones collection. Looks like this sells for about 10 or 15 bucks. So that'll pay for basically all of my media today. And then I stopped by a thrift store out in Johnstown, and they had this Godzilla Tokyo Clash game. It's all there. It's a strategy game. I tried to set this up and play it. A little too complicated for me. So I put it back in the box, and I'll throw it up on Facebook for like 10 or 15 bucks. I think I paid $5 for it. Speaking of VHS, I had like an old Quasar brand, you know, VCR, and it went kaput. It finally just went out. I've had that thing for probably 5 or 6 years, and I was like, man, I got all these VHS tapes. I want to watch some VHS tapes, but now my VHS player is broken. So I went to Goodwill, and they had 3. They had a Panasonic, a Sanyo, and like a Toshiba. They were like $7.99 each. So I just bought all 3 of them, brought them home. They all work. So yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'll probably throw the Sanyo up for like 25 bucks or so on Facebook. But anyway, I go to Maxine's Bargain Box today, and you know, I got that thing of Masters of the Universe figures, but I asked, hey, do you got any Masters of the Universe parts? So they said, yeah, there's some parts for Man-at-Arms, there's Merman Sword, Skeletor Staff. So I got that all on trade credit, and then I wanted a manual for Metroid. Now, this isn't in great condition, and that's okay, but I played through the first Metroid this year. Obviously, I was going for a 100 Nintendo games completed in my life. Got to 99, wanted to make Metroid number 100. I did that, but man, what a great game. I just want to read the manual, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? What are we doing? So I'm out and about, you know, hunting and whatever, and I found a bag of Legos. I won't show them to you. It's just a small bag. It has an X-Wing Resistance fighter in there. I got to thinking of how some of these, you know, these online flipper channels, you know, they're just so full of shit. Because they're like, you know, oh, guys, here's the reality if you're doing the flipping thing. The two best ways to increase your profits are to lower your cost of goods and learn how to ship things properly. You will save a lot of money by knowing how to ship things. And then go into like buying a thermal printer and descriptions and titles and things like that. All that stuff does matter, but these guys are like, yeah, I got this Sony Walkman for $1 and sold it for $35. And it's like, you should always, you know, look out for those. And it's like, yeah, bro, no kidding. You know what I mean? Like, should I look out for Mario and Pokemon games too? I mean, what are these guys talking about? So some of these guys, I started to branch off into some different categories, like looking at shoes and things like that. And I saw a brand today at Goodwill that is like one of those brands, like, hey, buy this and you can sell it for good money. So I picked up the shoe and I looked at it as like a little work boot kind of thing. And I'm like, man, these sell for like $35, $40. This is crazy. And then I turn over the other shoe with the price tag on it, and it's $34.99. So these guys, you know, they're telling you to source these items, but they're completely unaware of what the prices are in your area. If they live in bumfuck Nebraska somewhere where Goodwill still sells, you know, video games for 99 cents or $1.99, then yeah, you might get some good deals. But when you're closer to these bigger cities where there are a lot of thrift stores, a lot of competition, sports games in my area are $7.99 for PS2 and Xbox original sports games, you know what I mean? So yes, source video games and sell them. However, you have to get them at the right price. So, I mean, it's just funny that they fail to mention all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like yes, we all know to buy that stuff, but the opportunity to buy it may not be there because Goodwill prices their stuff so insanely. Anyway, I had $290 of trade credit at Maxine's. I've been waiting for an Xbox Series X to come in. They had one in, it was $440. So I started talking to the guy that works there, Josh, real nice guy. And he's kind of walking me through it. Something that Tyler's done 10 times, but I always forget the difference between an Xbox One and a Scorpio and a Series X and an Xbox 2 to the 9th power. Like, Microsoft, why are you stupid? just give it a number assignment like Sony, you know, or a different name assignment like Nintendo. So I'm kind of thinking it over, and he's like, yeah, I mean, you could get the Xbox Series X and pay a little bit more for it, but what games are you looking to play? And I'm like, well, like college football. And he's like, okay, cool, that's a great example. So you buy college football, you don't play online, you don't play, you know, care about the build a character or construct a season or coaching, you just want to play through a season of college football. Yes. Well, how many times are you going to do that? I don't know. I'm probably play through it once with Ohio State and once with like Wyoming or something and win a national championship. He's like, okay, so you're really up buying this console to play a handful of games, maybe once or twice. And I'm like, yeah, now it's starting to make sense. So they had some Xbox Ones, and then they had some Xbox One S's, I guess. And what I wanted was a disc drive where I could play, you know, the Xbox One games, which is why I wanted a Series X, so I could just eliminate the confusion, play all the Xbox One games. So yeah, anyway, I got this. It was $190. It's 1 terabyte. They had the 500 gig for $180. So really cool thing about Maxine's is that when you buy a console there, you get a 1-year warranty on it. And if you pay with cash or card, I didn't, I paid with trade credit. But if you pay with cash or card, you get 20% of the console's value in trade credit. So if I had paid in cash, it would have been $38 or so in trade. But I still have $80 in trade credit. And I went down to the flea market. I grabbed this game right away, Killer Instinct Combo Breaker Pack. It's got Battletoads in it, you know, so that's really the only reason I bought this. Not a big Killer Instinct guy, but I definitely want to play as the Battletoads. And then Tyler stopped by last week or the week before, and he hooked me up with a copy of Quantum Break, which is a game you guys mentioned in the last video of a game on the Xbox One that you need to get. And then he hooked me up with this very nice copy of Gears of War and Rare Replay with the sticker. Can't wait to pop this in, man. I'm such a huge Rareware fan, all the way back to, you know, Battletoads, Cobra Triangle, all those great NES games, Time Lord. all the way through the Super Nintendo years, you know, the Donkey Kong Countries, the Killer Instincts, Nintendo 64, obviously, with Conkers and Banjo and Jet Force Gemini, underrated game. But yeah, so that is what we got in the Xbox front. Yeah, other than that, I had a pretty dead weekend. I went to my aunt's house on Saturday, watched the Buckeyes play, came home, took a nap, got up, started playing ActRaiser on Super Nintendo, beat that game. ActRaiser, crazy cool game, man. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's pretty linear, and it's kind of, you know, they got that item swapping gimmick where it's like, take this herb to the city that has the plague, and then it's so simple, but it's so satisfying. So anyway, beat ActRaiser, and I think that is game number 68 for me this year. Linda's already over 100. She's crazy. She's nuts. That's a crazy amount of games, especially with a month and a half left to go. But yeah, anyway, what games have you been playing? Make sure you leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM Retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the next one.